Harshin, Hashiv. How are you? Fo-thiotalan gus Speak Gaelic. Welcome to Speak Gaelic. I hope you're managing to continue with your learning and finding some time to practice your Gaelic words and phrases between programmes, maybe even with family and friends. And if you are, I have a very useful phrase for you, one you can use to tell people you're learning Gaelic. Ha neach-ionnsachaidh Gaelic. I'm learning Gaelic. Ha neach-ionnsachaidh Gaelic. You can try it on your friends and family, as in this episode, we're going to be looking at vocabulary you can use to talk about family. Teollach, family. Teollach. Your own and other people's, and I know that there's plenty to talk about. So let's have a look at what we've got planned for the next half hour. Talk about family and relationships.
Hamisha pasta. She Megan Tanam head me ven.
Calum MacLean heads to Portmahomack in search of his ancestors. A brief introduction to numbers. And we'll meet learner Caroline Quinn, who'll tell us how she's supporting her young children through Gaelic medium education. Now, in order to be able to say Ha neach-ionnsachaidh Gaelic, it's time to speak Gaelic. Avilshiv Jeshal, are you ready? Avilshiv Jeshal. A useful phrase for discussing family and relationships is avil, and whatever it is, akit. Do you have? Avil, and whatever it is, akit. For example, if you're interested in someone's relationship status, you could ask, avil céile akit. Do you have a partner? Avil céile akit. Alternatively, you could ask, avil bramad akit. Do you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend? Avil bramad akit. To describe your own relationship, you could say, ha bramad akim. I have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Ha bramad akim. Or, if you have a partner, ha céile akim. I have a partner. Ha céile akim. Ha bramad akim or ha céile akim. And if you don't, you answer chanil céile akim. No, I don't have a partner. Chanil céile akim. And you use the same structure for bramad. The word céile works well, whether you're married or not. But if you do want to tell someone you're married, it's ha mi posta. I'm married. Ha mi posta. If you're not married, chanil mi posta. I'm not married. Chanil mi posta. Now, to ask someone if they have children, you say, avil chlachan. Do you have children? Avil chlachan. And remember the answer to that one? Ha. Yes. Ha. Or chanil. No. Chanil. Let's listen to these phrases being used in conversation and see how many you can recognise.
Fisker ma Hamish.
Fisker ma.
Shomachila Carla.
Hello, Carla.
Hello, Carla. It's Mr. Alice. Shall, ha cat akim. She Felix and Tenemahes.
Avil bramad akit.
Ha bramad akim. Ha Jansen Tuin. Ha misha further Sean the Mooners. Phil bramad akit Tainach
Chanil bramad akim.
Phil bramad akit Sir Hamish.
Hamisha pasta. She Megan Tanam head me ven. Hiya donation.
Phil clownach of a Hamish.
Neach-ionnsachaidh agus a balochacking.
Phil clownach of Andra agus Carla.
Chanil clownacking.
Agus Alice,
Cynneil clownacham. Ha bramanacham agus ha cathacham a cynneil clownacham.
Did you follow what was being said? Let's look at some of these phrases, starting with Andra, who said, Seo my chéile, Carla. Here's my partner, Carla. Seo my chéile, Carla. My chéile, my partner, my chéile. Seamus then asked Alice, Ifil brame dhacet. Do you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend? Ifil brame dhacet. Alice replied, Ha brame racum. Yes, I have a girlfriend. Ha brame racum. And she went on to give us a bit more information. Hai ounsen tuain. She's in Sweden. Hai ounsen tuain. Alice then asked Seamus if he had a girlfriend or a boyfriend, to which he replied, Ha mishe poste. I'm married. Ha mishe poste. You may have also noticed the question, Ifil clownachim. Do you have children? Ifil clownachim. We'll look at clown, children, later on in the programme. But for now, let's listen again to some of these phrases.
Fisker ma Hamish.
Fisker ma.
Seo MacIlleathain Carla.
Hello, Carla.
Hello, Carla. Is Mr. Alice.
Ifil brame dhacet.
Ha bramanacham. Ha jansen tuain. Ha mishe fydach seo na múnir. Fel bramanacham sa Hamish?
Ha mishe poste. She megan tan am hedd me ven. Hai a donation.
Fel clownach of a Hamish?
Ha neach-ionnsachaidh agus a bhruidhinn.
And remember, you can watch all of our conversations on our website, where they're supported by bilingual transcriptions. Now, I've been joined by inspirational Gaelic learner Caroline Quinn. But before we start talking about Caroline's interest in the language, let's find out a little about her.
Hello, it's Misha Caroline Quinn, agus Hamia Firach Anam Glasgow. I'm Caroline Quinn and I live in Glasgow. I live with my husband and 3 sons. I'm learning Gaelic because my sons are in Gaelic medium education. Bishin a fiechin ri Gaelic a bhruidhinn san rachi. Ha seo coirt ma. I'm studying psychology and as part of my degree, I'm doing Gaelic as an elective and it's brilliant. I'm really enjoying it. Someone close to me has Asperger's, which is a lifelong social difficulty, which makes a person rigid in their thinking, despite being very clever. For me, studying psychology is another way of me helping them to navigate the world around them. I love anything to do with gardening. Still ma via goper ionsachaidh. Seo neach-ionnsachaidh. It's my pride and joy. I'm moving some vegetables inside of the greenhouse. This helps them to grow and keeps them warm. Bhruidhinn agus tomatoin. I love to cook traditional dishes from the Caribbean. Hamia Trinidad agus Tobago, and making traditional meals makes me feel at home. Being an islander myself and having that island connection, albeit from a different part of the world, has helped me to understand the importance of the Gaelic language and culture here in Scotland. Trinidadian stewed chicken, tionndadh jay-shell.
Fáil George go speak Gaelic, Caroline.
Definitely.
Cymryd how?
Hagamata, believe Cymryd hain.
Gàidhlig, Warren down. And can you tell us what brought you to Scotland first?
Well, my sister was actually having her first baby
and that was really exciting for all of us in the family. So I came over here and I experienced a different culture, and it was great. And then my sister introduced me to her friend, who's now my husband.
Oh,
So,
lovely.
yeah.
And why did you decide to put your sons into Gaelic medium education?
Well, I thought it was actually a really interesting concept.
Yeah.
The boys had gone to a Gaelic nursery. There was a
lovely.
unit in there, and we thought, what an amazing opportunity to allow them to learn a different language.
Yeah. And how do you find speaking Gaelic at home?
Well, it's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
I have a primary four who's not shy to correct my pronunciations, so it is interesting. But we try to squeeze anything that we do know in, so it's fun.
You said that being an islander has helped you understand the language and the culture. Are there similarities between the two?
There actually are, surprisingly. I think the pace of life is quite similar. You know, it's a lot more, you know, slower, which is enjoyable for me. I love it. The actual place looks similar.
Oh, wow.
I think that the islands, the Western Isles, look like any beach in the Caribbean, which is phenomenal, you know. And the music, we also value our own music, and I think it's just, there are similarities, so yes.
That's really special, actually, that you've got that. It's like being at home
I know.
when you're not at home.
I know.
And are you continuing your Gaelic learning journey as well?
That's the plan, yes. So I'm planning to continue. Obviously, the boys are in Gaelic medium education, so I'd be learning with them to help them. So that's going to happen. I'm also in uni, and it's an elective of mine, and I'm keep on going with it because it's just, I love it. It's really fun.
I was so impressed that you managed to do everything. You're a very busy woman.
Oh, I am.
And can you tell us, what's your favourite Gaelic word or phrase?
Ceuch míle fáilte, and I think that actually just radiates the warmth of the Highlands and Islands. It just is so hospitable, and I think it's just magic, yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. And I do wish you the best of luck.
you.
And I can't wait to see you talking fluently to your boys in the future. Taobh Sear Rois. And if you'd like to feature in our programmes, why not get in touch through our social media platforms and tell us how you came to be interested in Gaelic? Go on, we'd love to hear from you. Now, let's get out and about and see some of Scotland's beautiful attractions in the company of our roving reporter, Calum MacIlleathain, Calum Maclean. And today, I think he could well be in search of his ancestors.
I'm near Portmahomack, where you'll find Scotland's third tallest lighthouse. But I'm here to find out about a people the Romans described as bloodthirsty barbarians covered in tattoos, but who some modern-day historians describe as arty Christian farmers. Who am I talking about? The Picts, or in Gaelic, neach-ionnsachaidh. The Picts lived in the north and east of Scotland in the 3rd to 9th centuries. In the 1980s, aerial photography around this Aclish church, Aclish in Portmahomack, revealed markings that got archaeologists digging. It became the largest excavation ever carried out on an ancient Pictish site. They found fragments of 4 standing stones. The Gaelic for stone is chlach, and the plural is chlachan. Chlach and chlachan. I'm meeting Sheila's Fraser, who's going to tell me a bit more about neach-ionnsachaidh. And how important was the archaeological dig?
Very significant. We found lots of wonderful carved stones of a very high standard and other artefacts. There are a lot of signs and symbols on the stones, and we don't really know what they mean, but it could be that they refer to names, family names. We really need something like a Pictish Rosetta Stone to try to help us fathom it out.
How did the image of the Picts change, from bloodthirsty barbarians to something more like arty farmers?
Well, it might have something to do with the fact that they were converted to Christianity probably about the 7th century. And they still carved their wonderful stones, but now they would have crosses on them and pictures of some of the saints. But they also had a farm and they reared cattle and other farm animals and grew grain, and they worked metal, and they made books.
And how do you know that?
We found this.
Let me guess, it's a Pictish back scratcher.
No, you're wrong. It's a Pictish bone which has been fashioned into a peg, and the peg would have been used in the making of vellum for the books. They would pin out a animal hide. They would turn the pegs, turning and turning, tightening and tightening until it was very thin, thin enough to become vellum or parchment.
But what happened to the Picts of East Rois? Well, the answers were found when they excavated the monastery. They discovered buildings had been set alight, sculptures had been smashed, and most terrible of all, they found Pictish monks' skulls with axe wounds in them. But what happened? Na Lochlainich, the Vikings, na Lochlainich had arrived. It's always na Lochlainich. Na Coinnichidh have long gone from Portmahomack, but they left lots of chlachan around, so they won't be forgotten in a hurry. Take a look around your own local Eiclish and see if you can find yourself a Pictish back scratcher or a tool for making your own books or leor. But you might need to stick to the north and east of Scotland and keep a lookout for na Lochlainich in case they're still around.
Calum. Thank you, Calum. It's always the Pescail Lochlainich, isn't it? And thanks to Calum's sterling efforts, we know that leor is a book, chlachan are stones, and of course, na Lochlainich are the Vikings. Na Lochlainich. And we'll join Calum on another of his adventures in our next episode. But if you want to see more of his take on Gaelic words and phrases, head over to our website and make sure you also follow us on all of our social media platforms. Now, are you ready to speak some more Gaelic? A bhfuil sibh déisial? Are you ready? A bhfuil sibh déisial? Earlier on, we looked at how to say whether you're married or in a relationship, and we can use a similar construction to ask about other family members. Avail and whoever it is, acit. Do you have? Avail and acit. So for example, you could ask, Avail brahid acit. Do you have a brother? Avail brahid acit. And to reply, if you do, ha brahid acum. I have a brother. Ha brahid acum. If you don't, it's chanil. Chanil brahid acum. I don't have a brother. Chanil brahid acum. To ask someone if they have children, it's Avail clown acit. Do you have children? Avail clown acit. Or, if you're talking to more than one person, Avail clown aciv. Do you have children? Avail clown acit and Avail clown aciv. To ask if someone has brothers or sisters, you follow the same structure again. Avail braden nio perichin acit. Do you have brothers or sisters? Avail braden nio perichin acit. Braden, brothers. And perichin, sisters. Perichin. And because it's an avail question, we answer with ha, yes, or chanil, no. Now, we need to know how to count in order to tell someone how many children or brothers and sisters we have. I'm only going to take you through numbers 1 to 4 here, but all of the numbers are on our website. Un, 1. Un. 2 is ga, ga. 3, tri, tri. and for ceumannan, ceumannan. And one final note, the Gaelic for a son is mach, mach. And the Gaelic for a daughter is neach, neach. Let's listen to some of these phrases being used in conversation and keep an ear out for the words díos, referring to 2 children, díos, and ceireadh, 4 children, ceireadh, which I'll explain later.
Efo clown ac efo Johnny?
Ha, a clown ac am. A díos ac am. Am o fach William, y ffyrch awn yn Australia. Eich am o nian, Maria, y ffyrch awn sy'n rhaing.
E fel William poste?
Fa e poste. Hanel e poste yn eisiau. Fach a cele ege.
E fel clown e William?
Ha mach ac William. Yn fach. Se omar yn tan am y hyr. Ha omar se fahar. Y ffyrch awn yn sasing.
Efo yn nian ac efo poste?
Ha Maria poste. Agus a clown ege. A díos ege. Yn fach. Agus yn nian. Jean. Agus Sophie.
Bria.
A fel perech yn ysbrar yn ag y pein yma.
Chanil piwr na brach i'r acam.
A fi eich
Wel, chanil brach ar acam, ach ha perich yn acam, tor ferich yn. Mary, Catriona, Tracy, agus Kate. A cer ar acam.
Wel, wel.
E fel ben ac efo Johnny?
Haniel ben ag am.
Wel, Johnny Maclean. Cymryd y haw.
Sy'n eich ian. Cymryd y haw hyn.
Did you manage to follow what was being said? We heard Emma ask Shani if il clown ag William. Does William have children? If il clown ag William. And Shani replied, ha mach ag William. Yes, William has a son. Ha mach ag William. Shani also asked Emma if il perichin is brar yn agad. Do you have sisters and brothers? If il perichin is brar yn agad. And her answer was, chanil piwher nio bra hedacum. No, I don't have a sister or a brother. Chanil piwher nio bra hedacum. Michael also told us he has sisters. Tor ferichin. Lots of sisters. Tor ferichin. You may also have picked up on the words díos, referring to 2 people. Díos, from the word 2, and ceireadh, referring to 4 people. Ceireadh, from the word 4. We'll come back to the counting of people later on in the series. But for now, let's listen to some of that conversation again. And remember, all the conversations from this series are available on our website with bilingual transcriptions.
E fel clown e William?
Ha mach ac William. Yn fach. Se omar yn tan am y hyr.
Bria.
A fel perech yn ysbrar yn ag y pein yma.
Chanil piwr na brach i'r acam.
A fi eich
Wel, chanil brach ar acam, ach ha perich yn acam, tor ferich yn. Mary, Catriona, Tracy, agus Kate. A cer ar acam.
Wel, wel.
At in Gaelic is ich. It's used not just to express location, like at home, ich and tuig, but also to mean having, as in ha brahad ich maddi. Maddi has a brother. Ich also combines with me to form a new word. Acam, at me, acam. Ha brahad acam, I have a brother. ha clownacum, I have children, or ha tuyacum, I have a house. You can also use acum with the word the to mean my. Clownacum, my children, or an tuyacum, my house. And another example, an studio acum, my studio, and studio acum. Now, before we finish, let's look at what we've covered in this episode. How to ask and describe your relationship status using a vil. A vil céile agat. Do you have a partner? A vil céile agat. And the response, ha céile acum. I have a partner. Ha céile acum. Or chanil céile acum. I don't have a partner. Chanil céile acum. To ask if someone has children, it's y vil clown agat. Do you have children? Y vil clown agat. To ask if someone has brothers and sisters, y vil peirithin is bhruidhinn agat. Do you have sisters and brothers? Y vil peirithin is bhruidhinn agat. And to answer either of these questions, you use ha, I do, ha, or chanil, I don't, chanil. Well, sinna bhuamsa, that's all from me. Remember, there are additional supporting materials on our website, including details of language classes you can join. You can also watch all of the programmes in this series on BBC iPlayer, and you can download our podcasts from BBC Sounds. Now, I hope you'll be telling all of your friends and family what you're doing. Ha neach-ionnsachaidh Gaelic. I'm learning Gaelic. Chunna na hurish. Until next time, cheery and drasta.